So today's class we are going to discuss different approaches for followed in qualitative research. There are five common approaches were used in qualitative study. First one, it is case study. Second one, it's grounded theory. Third one, it's phenomenology. Fourth one, ethnography, and fifth one, narrative study. Out of these five approaches were commonly used in social science research. As a social worker, we were experienced with the case studies most of the time. Today, we are going to study. You are going to understand the different approaches along with the case study as well. Um, what do you mean by case study? Do you have any idea about case study? Anyone? Tekale. What do you mean by case study? Uh-huh. I think your line is breaking. So better switch off your video. Better switch off your video. Come with audio only. Your line is breaking. Okay. So I'll continue. So uh, case study research. It involves study of an issue explored through one or two cases within a founded system. Maybe case study research, it involves there is a boundary. It will set itself by through on a boundary. So this within the boundary we are going to study certain phenomena. Maybe single case you can find so many social issues, or single case you can select one case. But it's supposed to be case study supposed to be done within a jurisdictions or within a case, within a founded system. You should not go behind that founded system. That's what case study is meant for. So you are setting a boundary for your study. Within that boundary, whatever things are there, you are going to study. Maybe you are selecting one case, or maybe you are selecting multiple case, but you need to set a boundary before initiating a case study. So that's what case study is meant for. So if you want to explore a particular issue, then you are going to set a boundary. Within that boundary, you can select either one case or many case. It is you to decide, but you need to set a boundary for your particular case. For example, you wanted to study the level of poverty. The level of poverty means you are going to set, you are not going to behind poverty. You need to set my focus issue supposed to be understanding poverty. So for understanding poverty, I am going to choose either one individual or multiple individuals. That's boundary means you are setting your issue. I should not go behind that one. In other present, in others are perceived that case study as a strategy of inquiry, or a methodology, or a comprehensive research strategy of an inquiry. Um, Either you can say case study as a strategy of inquiry, or you can consider this as a case study as a methodology by itself. You can apply with a single case or multiple case. Single case or multiple case, you can consider case study as a methodology. Sometimes you can use this as a single strategy, or sometimes you can take it case study as a separate methodology, or you can use case study as a comprehensive research strategy of inquiry. Maybe you can select many cases in your qualitative study along with the in-depth interview, or different instruments. You can use this as an instrument, or it's an inquiry strategy, or you can take it this as a methodology. So you need to consider case study is a methodology, or you can say it's a type of design in qualitative research, or object of study, as well as product of an inquiry. But anyway, you can consider. Sometimes you can case study, you can use this as a single strategy or multiple strategy, or it is a methodology you can consider. So that's what case study have more flexibility. more flexibility to study your research issues. So there is a definition for case study. It's a qualitative approach in which the investigator explore a founded case. Explore a founded case. He is going to choose his problem. He is going to explore the problem using a bounded systems or case, a single case or a multiple cases over the time period through a detailed or in-depth interview or in-depth data collection mechanisms which involves multiple source of information. For example, you can do observation, you can do interviews, you can do audio visual materials, or you can do document review, or you can do report analysis and report a particular reports a case description and case based themes. For example, if you are doing several programs or single program may be selected for your study. If you are selecting several programs, then it is a multi-site study. If you are choosing a single program, then it is a within the site study. So case study research is a qualitative approach in which the investigator explores a founded system, or founded system means it's a case, or a multiple founded system or cases over the time period through in-depth data collection mechanisms, then reporting the cases in a descriptive and case-based themes. That is called case study. So there are three type of case studies are there. But usually, before going to type of case study, we need to understand how the type of case studies can be generated, or you can say what are all the characteristics you can able to classify case studies. So you can classify case studies using the size of the cases. You can classify the type of case study. So that is the major variables. You can say you can able to distinguish case study in the form of size. Um, for example, if you are using size as an distinguishing factors, then you need to know the size of bounded cases. For example, case may be involved in one individuals or several individuals or a group or entire program or an activity. You can decide based on the size. You can say you can distinguish your case study, or you can distinguish your cases in terms of intent of the case analysis. Maybe you are going with the in-depth case analysis, or purpose of case or intent of the case analysis. You can able to distinguish based on these two distinguished characteristics. You can able to classify case study into three different type. The first type, single instrumental case study. The second one, collective or multiple case study. Third one, intrigues case study. So there are three type of case studies commonly classified. So single instrumental case study. In a single instrumental case study, the researcher focuses on particular issue or particular concern and then select one founded case to illustrate this issue. So the single instrumental case study, the researcher giving importance to particular issue or particular concern. For that particular issue and particular concern, he or she going to choose one particular case which is relevant to examine or which is relevant to illustrate that particular case. For example, this case study type of instrumental case studies provide insights into an issue or refining theoretical explanations. If you wanted to get more in-depth or more insight about particular issue, you need to go with the single or bounded cases. So if you want to know in-depth insights regarding a particular phenomena or particular issue, you can go with the single instrumental case study. So this case studies often investigated in depth and all aspects of activities are detailed, but not simply elaborate the case for the sake. You are going to understand the case in depthly. You are not going to describe. You are going to understand the case in depth manner. Intrigues case study. Other type of case study design is intrigues case study. This is focus. The focus of this intrigues case study, is one of the case itself. For example, if you want to evaluate a program or studying a student having difficulties because of the case presented or unusual or unique situation, if there are if you know the impact of particular program, or if you wanted to know the unequal or unique event or unusual event, if you want to study, you can go with the one intrigues case or one intrigues case situations you can choose. So here role of the researcher is not to understand or test abstract theory or develop new theory, but instead of developing new theory or abstract, here you are going to, your intent is to understand the intrinsic aspect of particular case. You are not going to generate any new theory, but here you are giving importance to understand the intrinsic aspects or unique aspect of particular case. So you are going to use intrinsic case study. For example, maybe in your class somebody is scoring all the subjects. Somebody is scoring 100 out of 95, but most of the students are scoring less than 20. If that is the case, you need to understand why most of the students are not getting that level of score, but only one student is getting that level of. It's an unusual event or unique situations. So you are going to uh, study the particular person for getting understanding the intrinsic nature of the particular case. So collective case study, the final case study type. One issue or concern is again going to be selected, but inquirers select multiple cases. So, for example, if you wanted to study the household poverty level, that is the case. You are not going to restrict yourself with a single case study. You are going to choose different individual based on different criteria, but for the purpose of understanding, in-depth understanding about the poverty at household level. So you are going to choose different cases from different areas. So the enquirer select multiple case studies to illustrate the issue. The researcher might select for study several programs from several research sites or multiple cases to show different perspectives on the same issue. Issue is same, but you are going to choose different individuals or different cases or multiple the stages of samples you are going to choose. So now we are going to move how to conduct a case study. If you There are steps you need to follow for conducting a case study. For that, you need to choose whether the methodology as a case study as a methodology is it fit to your research problem or not. That is first and foremost criteria. You need to choose whether your problem is going to be effective if you are using case study. So decide if your case study fit to the research problem or not. For example, you need to answer how and why type of questions. How the problem arrives, why this problem came out. You need to get answer. If you are able to get answer for your how and why, then you can choose case study. So because researcher, he cannot manipulate the behavior. The researcher cannot manipulate the behavior of the individual who are studying. So you wanted to contextualize your conditions, then you can choose this methodology. Then the second step, if your methodology, if case study is going to fit your research problem, then you need to identify the relevant cases. You need to identify, the second step is to identify relevant cases. For example, individuals or program, events or activity, you need to identify. The third step, the data collection process. So you need to, what kind of data you are going to collect, whether you are going to do document analysis or observations or interview or audio video materials you are going to assess. Then you need to do analysis. The holistic analysis or entire case you are going to do, or embodied analysis, or within the case analysis, or cross case analysis, what type of analysis you are going to choose. Then how to report it. There are 5 steps you need to check with the relevance of your methodology as a case study as a methodology, then identify cases, then collect mechanism for data collection, then analysis and reporting. So when you are doing case study analysis, you need to give due recognition respect to the individual you are studying. So you need to give importance to your case. Then you need to establish good rapport with your the individual you are studying. Then you need to know his personal identity, past history, everything. Then you need to deep investigations in a comprehensive manner. Then you need to collect all relevant data about particular individuals. Then you need to find out the probable case of his behavior, remediations and suggestions you need to find out. So anybody is around? Hello?
What? Yes,
Do you have any questions regarding case study?
Yeah.
Yeah, tell me.
I have a question on the different types of case study.
Okay.
The difference between the single instrumental case study and interesting case study is not clear for me.
Okay. Any other question?
I don't know, but I don't know.
Okay. Single case, there you are going to, for example, you are selecting a problem or issue, you are going to describe that issue. You are going to describe that issue. So any case you can select. Either you can select Marirajan or you can select Tekele. If you want to, your research problem, maybe poverty is your research problem, you can select either Marirajan or Tekele. The result is going to be same. But intrinsic case study, you are going to study in-depth level of poverty. If you are studying either Marirajan or Tekele, it is going to be vary. So you are going to choose a relevant case or unique case or a intrinsic case. So your selection of sample supposed to be a in-depth one, not any other sample. But the methodology, you are going to choose only one case. But when you are choosing that particular case, you need to give importance to unique case. That is called intrinsic case study. Single case study, you can choose anybody. You can choose anybody, but it's supposed to be one. You are getting my point?
So in the single instrumental case study,
Yeah, I'm hearing.
In the single instrumental case study, researcher focuses on an issue or a concern and select one bounded case.
Yes.
Also,
within the bounded, select one bounded case, but the same case it is available in other within the bounded cases. You can get same type of cases, but out of same kind of cases you are going to choose only one.
Doc.
Yes, I'm hearing.
Someone is disturbing us. I think the voice, there is a voice problem.
Yes. I think. Hey, the Lipen, are you hearing us?
I don't.
No, yeah, yes, I'm hearing you.
Okay. Tikale, check your audio. Anybody is disturbing?
Yeah. Yes.
Maybe mute your audio. If you are not asking any question, just mute your audio. Okay, continue.
But in the single instrumental case study, researcher have to focus on one bounded case.
One bounded case with the same characters.
Okay. In the intrinsic case study, also researcher focus on one case.
One bounded case, but that one bounded case supposed to be a unique one. You should not get another case.
Okay.
For example, you are studying level of poverty. Maybe you are studying a migrant there are migrant family, there is an the family who is not having land, or the family different type, all people are living in a poverty stricken conditions. But when you are looking at their status, somebody is migrant, somebody is landless laborer, somebody is women, somebody is something like that. But all of them are living in the same condition. So you can choose anybody as your case. But if it is an intrinsic case study, you need to go with a single character or unique character. Maybe we need to go, either you need to go with the migrant, you need to go with either migrant, either women, you need to go with single unique character.
Okay, okay, thank you.
So now we were moving to grounded theory, the second approach followed in qualitative study. The grounded theory, aim of grounded theory is to generate or discover a theory. So the purpose of this type of research approach followed in qualitative study to generate a new theory or discover a theory, we can use this as a approach or methodology to study. When you are looking at the definition of grounded theory, the discovery of theory from a data systematically obtained from a social science research. A discovery of theory from data systematically obtained from a social science research. Or a grounded theory is one that is inductively derived from the study of the phenomena it represents. I hope you now you can able to recollect what is inductive, deductive. So if you are inductively or you are exploring the fact, um, you are you are segregating the data, you are segregating the informations, going in depth, or if you are using inductively to derive a study phenomena, it is called grounded theory. So this grounded theory, when you are looking at some other definition, it will give more clarity. For example, the theory given by Qualitative, he says grounded theory in contrast to the theory obtained by logical deductive method. So this theory of grounded in data which have been systematically obtained and analyzed through social research. It is not about grounded theory is entirely different from logical deductive theoretical methods, because logical theoretical methods it is more applied alternative source of information, but grounded theory it encourages to apply a scientific knowledge. So grounded theory is about a theory grounded in data which have been systematically obtained and analyzed from the social science research. So role of grounded theory was and is a careful and systematic study of relationship of individuals' experience to the society and to the history. Or you can say grounded theory requires recognition that inquiry is always context bound and facts should be viewed as both theory laden and value laden. So the grounded theory, mostly the data is coming from a systematic way from the ground, or the relationship between individuals experience towards society and the history, or the values and experiences of individuals, the one we are going to study from the ground in a systematic way. That is called mainly grounded theory, means mainly to generate a new theory, or perspective from systematic way of studying the social problems. So purpose of doing grounded theory, in any discipline is to develop a new concept or new theory of basic phenomena. The basic purpose of a grounded theory is to develop a new theory or new phenomena from any discipline where this concept and theory is firmly grounded in qualitative data. For example, there is a notion is there, white people are always speaking truth. If you want to condemn that one, if you want to contradict that one. You can do a grounded theory research. Grounded theory approach will tell you whether your thinking is going to be right or wrong. So the purpose is to develop a theory about phenomena of interest should be grounded or rooted from your observation. The tools we are using in grounded theory mostly in a observation. Observation is a most prominent tool when you are applying grounded theory. So it allows researchers to seek out and conceptualize a latent social pattern and structure through constant comparison. Through your observations, maybe you can able to compare different phenomena. Through your comparisons, you can able to come up with a new theory. So there are two type of grounded theories. One is systematic procedure. Another one is constructivist approach. Systematic procedure means yeah, in the more systematic analytic procedures, the investigator seeks to systematically develop a theory that explains process, action, or interactions on the particular topic. If you are following a process-oriented actions or interactions on particular topic, then it is called systematic way of developing a grounded theory. For example, if you are developing a curriculum, for example, the PhD curriculum we have started in the month of January. We went with need assessment. Based on the need assessment, we prepared a curriculum. Then the curriculum is done. There are 4 reviews were done by the curriculum committee. All the 4 reviews leads to the final curriculum which is going to be presented on Monday. So if you are following a process, a systematic process which involve a process analysis to seek a systematic answers through a theory that is called systematic procedure. So researchers usually conduct 20 or 30 interviews based on several visits to the field to collect interview data to saturate the categories. Maybe he or she going to select 2 or 30 interviews based on several visits to fill the data collections. One point of time, data needs to be saturated. He or she need to fill. Hereafter, there is no new information, so I am going to stop it. So you are going to select a number of cases, then you are continuously doing your interview for certain period. When you are finalize yourself, the data is already saturated. Up to that level, you need to do systematic procedure approach. If it is in a constructivist approach, then if the focus on theory develop, then depending on the researcher's view, learning about the experience within embodied or hidden network situations, relationship, and making visible hierarchy of power, communication, and opportunity. Here, in constructive approach, the researcher himself, he is going to put his view, his learning about the experience with the embodied knowledge or hidden network situations, relationship, making visible hierarchy of power, communication, opportunity. He is going to make constructive suggestions through the theory. So this approach places more emphasis on the views, values, beliefs, feelings, assumption, and ideology of the participant than the method of research. First one gives importance, especially systematic approach, which gives importance to process, methods, and process and action and interactions were given importance in systematic approach. Systematic approach, but in constructive approach, you are giving importance to more emphasis on views, values, beliefs, feelings, assumptions, and ideology of the participants. You are not going to give the importance to the process, but you are going to give the importance to value system of the participants, belief system, feelings, assumption, ideology of the participants. That is the major difference between the constructivist approach and systematic approach. This is the major difference between both. Any questions regarding the constructivist approach and the previous one, systematic procedure. So this is,
On the constructive approach, Doc, I have a question. On the first slide, it focus on the theory developed that depend on the researcher's view. This is was that. But on the bottom, the approach places more emphasis on the view, value, belief, feeling, assumption, and the ideology of participant. It is opposing.
No, it's not opposing. You are, as a researcher, you are giving importance to know the views, values, beliefs, feelings, assumption, and ideology of the participants. But you are the one going to interpret. But you are giving importance to the participants' values, beliefs, feelings, assumption, and ideology. But as a researcher, you are going to interpret these things. When your interpretations, you are giving importance to participants' values, views, beliefs, dealings, assumptions, and ideology.
So we can consider as the constructive approach as the focus on the participant's view.
Yes, but participants' view, but it is going to be interpreted by the researcher.
Okay. Clear.
Okay. So the third one, phenomenology. Phenomenology study describes the meaning for several individuals of their lived experiences of a concept or phenomena. Maybe the way you are looking at the poverty is different from me, because maybe what background I am coming from that perspective I am going to look at what is poverty. It is entirely different from your experience, maybe somebody experience. But phenomenology study, it describes the meaning of several individuals of their lived experience of a particular concept or phenomena. If you want to understand what is poverty from different point of view, then it is that is called phenomenology study. So this phenomenologists focus on describing what all participants have in common as their experience of a particular phenomena. For example, grief is an universal experience. Grief is an universal experience means somebody is died. Our immediate expression, maybe in anywhere in the country, anywhere in the globe, either it is white people or black people or any other color, the grief is same. The first step supposed to be they don't accept the fact. Usually, if it is in a grip information, people don't want to accept it is happened. That is the first reactions come because it is proved one. First reactions, people denying the fact. Second one, maybe after maybe 5 or 10 minutes, they will accept, then started crying. That is a common one. After crying, then they were trying to adjust themselves. It's a common experience of anybody. Everywhere this is the common one. So this mostly the phenomenologists focusing on describing what all participants have in common as they experience a particular phenomenon. So best example, how the grip is universally experienced is one of the best examples. The purpose of phenomenology is to reduce individual experience with the phenomena to description of universal essence. Mostly the phenomenology used for reducing the burden of individuals. Maybe something happened to you, people will say this is a common one, don't hesitate, it will happen to anybody, it will happen to everyone, so you need to come over that. So that sort of relief if you want to give, then phenomenology is a right subject. It's a right subject. So the qualitative researcher identified phenomena. Phenomena means it's an object of a human experience. So qualitative researcher, you need to identify what kind of phenomena you are going to study. So this human experience may be phenomena such as insomnia or being left out, angry, grief, or undergoing coronary artery bypass surgery. So any experience, common experiences of different individual is going to be studied. If you want to study the anchor towards particular issue, phenomenology is the best example, best methodology to use to study the anchor, grip, or any disease related surgery, or any new diseases, the diseases which commonly affecting everyone. This is the effective methodology. So there are two type of phenomenology is there. One is interruptive methodology. Another one is descriptive methodology. Interruptive methodology means this is concerned with the life world or human experience as it is lived. So you are not going to make any changes. You just to study the human experience, how it happened. So you are not going to make anything. You are just studying how the particular incidents happen. From that incident, you are going to interpret. So you are taking a case study as it is, then you are giving your interpretations. So this approach of phenomenology focuses on the meaning of lived experiences rather than describing the experience. You are just trying to understand what is happened to the particular individuals. You are not going to describe. You are just studying the incidents. Based on the incidents, you are interpreting. You are not going to make. You are not going to do any manipulations. You are not describing. You are just studying the lived experiences of the individuals. Based on that, you are